listening to the ProgAxia podcast.
Let me get out the right way. You ready?
Yeah, there we go. I knew it would be.
Seconds out, Genesis. Seconds out, Genesis.
Yeah.
Again, I guess it's of the time as well. Me and you were sort of getting in. We was listening to the same sort of stuff at the same sort of time. So you know, there's obviously a reason why all this stuff comes together, and why this album means so much to both of us. This was my Genesis. I was in too late on Peter Gabriel. I saw Gabriel live with them at Six of the Best, which was incredible. You know, we've spoken about this before, and you know, me crying all the way through Supper's Ready. But anyway, this was the summation of every Genesis gig that I'd ever been to. It just had just loads and loads of tracks on it that I just thought were something like the best stuff they'd ever done.
Yeah.
I saw them at the Rainbow in '77, which was sort of early on in the year, and I saw them again at Earl's Court later on in the year. And the Earl's Court one, I'm just actually speaking to a mate of mine, Mal, the other day when we went to see Steve Hackett in Aylesbury, and when we was in the pub beforehand, we was talking about going to see Genesis back in the '70s, late '70s, and he went to Earl's Court the day before I did. Now, the day before I did, they did a radio show, Genesis live at Earl's Court, with Nicky Horn. It was Nicky Horn on Capital Radio, which I recorded. I taped. I've got the cassette still. I can't play it because I haven't got a cassette player, but I've still got that. I've got it on. I've got the digital version of it as well. But I remember sitting at home and listening to that because I was going the night after. And so the show that was actually recorded on the radio, my mate Mel Smith went to, and so this was the time we was going to see them. And to me, it is just huge. As I say, I saw them with the Rainbow in the January, and I think it was in the summer, or the beginning of the summer, at Earl's Court. Almost all the songs on the album were recorded during that Wind Wuthering tour, that '77 Wind Wuthering tour, which I went to.
Yeah, I think apart from was it Cinema Show, which was off the Trick of the Tail tour, I think, because that's.
I think that came off. Yeah, Cinema Show was.
Bruford's on that one, isn't he? But otherwise,
Bruford's on that. Yeah, I'm sure Bruford's on there. I mean, it also gets a bit muddy, you know, after all these years. But yeah, I mean, I've seen them with Chester Thompson. I never saw them with Bruford. So.
So I agree, and the only if this could be even better, which would be hard, because this was a Wind Wuthering tour. You know, they've got Afterglow on, which I think is a great rendition of it. I mean, it's really powerful. I think it's pretty good off the album, but you know, it's just much more powerful on this. I would have swapped out Robbery and Salt and Battery for One for the Vine. You know, if I had editing rights on this. But one of the things about this, so you know, there are some people out there that don't necessarily like this stuff, and quite often because they haven't actually listened to it. And certainly there's some friends from the village. We were on a car journey, and I was driving, so I had rights to what was on the in-car stereo, and I just played side 4 of this, which is, you know, Cinema Show, Dancing the Volcano, and Los Endos. Yeah, and it was like, what do you think of that then? And it was like, that's actually pretty good, isn't it? It's like, but don't tell anyone. Okay, all right. So you know, the energy around that, the drumming is superb. Cinema Show, you know, Banks' solo on that is fantastic. But Supper's Ready, for me, and it's maybe heresy, but you know, I probably slightly prefer this version of Supper's Ready.
It's very difficult, isn't it, with the voice of Phil Collins and the voice of Peter Gabriel. You sort of you feel like you should like the Gabriel version more, which I do. Personally, I do. If I go to listen to this one, right, I absolutely love it. I think Collins does a an excellent job. He sounds absolutely fantastic on it, and I would not fault it in one way ever. And then you go and listen to Foxtrot, and you just go, maybe it is just it is. Peter Gabriel is better at this, and then you go and listen to this again, and then you think, I don't know. I mean, it's very difficult because they're both incredibly good singers. They're both perfect for Genesis. Because, on all those old albums, you heard Phil Collins singing, second lines. He used to back up the vocals.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And so you got used to that voice in there anyway, even if you didn't realise it, even if it was, Peter Gabriel's voice at the front and Phil Collins' voice behind it. But right at the beginning of The Supper's Ready, you've got Phil Collins singing all of that. So it is just, to me, one of the most incredible albums. But I've got loads of these sort of, I've got Genesis bootlegs and
quite a few of them.
Stuff on Three Sides Live is good. The old Genesis live albums, brilliant. It's such a difficult choice to put in what could have been in there. I think if I'd put two albums from the same band, I think I would have definitely put this in, because when I was 15 years old. I got this given to me, and it was the point when I was just like really getting into progressive rock. I didn't really understand exactly who Genesis were, but I listened to this, and
it's people can briefly say it there. It's got the bat wings, Gabriel and his bat wings, and he's got that story on the back, haven't you, about about a lady on the tube, and
that unzips herself.
Exactly. It's like, wow. This is this is different to the Glenn Miller album I was looking at the other day with my dad. So Seconds Out. I wasn't surprised. Number one for us, both of us.
But there's great versions of the Gabriel era songs in there, together with that, obviously the new material from Dance on Volcano, Afterglow, Rubber Salt and Battery. I mean, I like Rubber Salt and Battery. I'd like that Squonk as well when it starts with Squonk. But massively important to me, this album.
But the track listing, I think, is great as well. Finishing side one with Afterglow when Collins is really going for it. Finishing side two with Musical Box when he's really going for it. Just a closing section. Supper's Ready. Apocalypse and 9/8 going to the end of that, and then finish on the high with Los Endos. Really well crafted.
Which they, probably still do. Even though I didn't go and see them last time out.
No.
Couldn't really be bothered with that. But no, I mean, I think this is, I'm just trying to sort of see any honourable mention albums that I've got sticking out here that I want to talk about. But this Seconds Out album, I think, is head and shoulders above everything. Not because it's just the best album, best live progressive rock album, which I think it actually is. In fact, there was something that there was like I can remember seeing something back in the day, and I'm just trying to think what it actually said, but it said something like the best live rock album from the best live rock band or something. It was like promoting.
Oh yeah, that was a promotional blurb for it when it came out.
It was. I'm not making it up, am I?
Yeah.
I remember seeing like posters and stuff.
As I recall, that was the Charisma promotional blurb at the time. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, for something like the best live band in the world, the best live album. I can't remember. So it was something like that.
Yeah.
But yes, so absolutely fantastic album. Number one for both of us, and properly well deserved. Yeah, thanks for joining us on the ProgAxia podcast. Don't forget to like this video and also to leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. It really does help us. We'll see you next time.